You're live.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's the one, the only Senor Silverback himself, the Optimus Primate, and I'm joined by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the Pathfinder on the road to Ruda, the mystical maven of monetary mayhem himself, the Gandalf of gold, the Baron of Bitcoin, and the Sultan of silver, all wrapped up into one. I'm talking about none other than Bix Weir. Bix, what's up, buddy?
I am so busy and so
I know.
crazy, having so much fun. It's hard to contain myself.
I know you got on the phone before we went live. I'm like, man, you're so jovial. I've never seen you this chipper in a while. I mean, you're always a chipper, upbeat kind of guy, but this is extra. This is extra chipper. What's going on? What's making you beam ear to ear?
I just got literally 15 minutes ago, just got the first delivery of the coin that I was having made, the silver coin I was having made, the Road to Ruda coin. And, my last coin was made by the Mulligan Mint, which was a corrupt operation, and they did a shitty job.
Sure.
And they were just, going for profit. This time I made it with Bix Engraving down in near L.A. Unbelievable people. Unbelievable job. I'm looking at this coin going, this blows away anything I've ever seen out there. I had them do everything special they could to it. It's got a number on the side. It's like double stamped. It's got the detail. It's got this luster that they put on it. It looks so good. And all because if those of you who know what my first coin, it's the same design, the Ruda jumping for joy on a silver brick road leading into the Federal Reserve with a canyon on the left symbolizing the Grand Canyon, and then a hole in the canyon, like a cave in the side of the canyon. It's really cool coin, but the only way to really appreciate it is to have really fine detail put into this coin. And these guys at Bix Engraving, BEX Engraving in LA, did just the most amazing job. I'm in awe of what I'm looking at right now.
Dude, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Because you never know. You never know when you go off and spend a bunch of money to have something made. You have an image of what you want in your mind, but you don't know until you get your finished product. And I am just overjoyed with this one.
Bix, are you going to tease us and not turn your camera on? Let's see it.
Yeah, I know, man. Let's see this coin.
I don't know if it'll work well. I'll try it.
Try it, man. Don't you got like a newfangled HD camera and stuff? Oh, there he is.
There I am.
I love the hair, bro.
Good thing I wasn't naked, huh?
I'm always naked. Whoa, dude.
It is so awesome.
Oh, that is sick.
In the back.
Be the road. I want one. I'll buy one off you.
This thing is awesome. And look at the side. I don't know if you can pick it up. Let's see right there. How do I hold it here? Oh, this is number 10, and you might be able to see.
Yeah, the little engraving. That is awesome.
I can't get it to focus, but
wow, no, I can see it clearly, bro. That is dope.
Oh yeah, that's the Road to Ruda coin right there. It's really cool.
Wow, that's a 1 ounce.
Huh? 1 ounce of silver. It comes in a fancy box and everything. I will not be selling it retail. Too valuable. So I'll be, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but it'll be related to the Road to Ruda subscriptions. I've only made 1,000 of them. So I think it might just solely be friends and family and Road to Ruda subscribers to the private road.
Hey, I want to throw my hat in the ring. You guys
are friends and family. Don't worry.
Good. Thank you.
Nice.
I feel special. I'm feeling extra special now.
I'm turning my camera off because I don't have my makeup on.
Good. I'm not turning my camera on. No one knows what I look like. I look like a big hairy monkey. But that's a. Well, you know what it's like being me, man. I'm terrified of being shot by hunters most of the time. But anyway,
you're on the endangered species list, so they can't shoot you.
I am. But sometimes people do have accidents, bro. Anyway, dude, that's great. I'm happy for the Road to Ruda coin. I can't wait to see it in my hand. That is a beautiful coin. I love the design on the back. It looks epic. You got little Ruda jumping on the road. That's amazing. Great detailing. Very, very special coin, bro. Very special coin. I think it's great for you.
I'm really happy. It turned out good.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be great for your subscribers. And if you're one of those rare individuals that have a Road to Ruta comic book, you need to add this to your collection.
True.
You need to have this to your collection. If you're one of those rare individuals, you got that Road to Ruta comic book, which is worth thousands. Millions. Yeah, exactly. It's worth thousands upon thousands of dollars right now, and potentially going to be worth millions by the time this is all said and done.
Well, when the collection comes out, that'll be really interesting.
It really would, man. Speaking of coins, man, what's going on? I got some crypto volatility, and why don't you share with the audience the other reason why you've been beaming ear to ear like a Cheshire cat?
I'll get to that near the end, but I've really come to the realization that first of all, the volatility we're seeing in the cryptocurrencies is nothing. I mean, we've seen a hell of a lot worse than this. And this, if you're gonna be a coiner, a cryptocurrency Bitcoiner, if you've been in long enough, this is nothing. If you are new to it and freaked out and sold, you're gonna be kicking yourself once again. You've got bruises in the same spot for getting out of the cryptocurrencies. I think we have bottomed, which is good. We're approaching the soft fork, user-activated soft fork, which I think is a mistake to even go down that path. But if you have Bitcoin, make sure you hold it in your own possession. And none of these Coinbase actually just came out today and said they will not be supporting the user-activated soft fork. So if you have any Bitcoin in Coinbase, make sure you convert it to an offline wallet or swap it for some Ethereum or Litecoin there. But this volatility is really normal for the cryptocurrencies. You know, we're seeing the birth of a currency and a birth of an industry and a birth of an entire economic system that's being born right beside the old criminal one. So I think it's really exciting for anybody who's been ballsy enough to get involved with the cryptocurrency, spend some time studying. Obviously, it's paying off in spades, which is really good, and I'm real happy for all my people who kind of took my advice and got involved, because I'm getting great feedback. I mean, this is changing people's lives overnight, which is awesome. In my idea, you there, V?
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, Bix. You know, and I'm glad that you're getting that feedback for your group, because Lord knows there's enough skeptics out there regarding the cryptocurrencies, and I think you nailed it. I don't think it's any different than any other either investment, whether it's a house or gold, silver, anything else in regards to the volatility in the market. So I think from here it's just nothing but momentum going forward, especially with blockchain.
I have proven many times in the past couple of years that any skeptic of the cryptocurrency, they are simply skeptical because, one, they didn't get in when it first started because they had the opportunity. Like Chris Dwayne put out a challenge to all the cryptos, and I answered his challenge. I made a video. I said exactly why he is wrong and why he cost his subscribers billions. I mean billions of dollars. And you
did a great job. That video was phenomenal. I did watch the whole thing from start to finish. And can you take us through some of those counter objections, those counter arguments to his? Because I think it's important, just high level. You don't have to go into every single detail, but I think that there's a few out there that I know that you can think of that specifically exactly what you just said. It's just that they didn't do a very good service to help their clients, to help their subscribers to understand what cryptocurrency is, and now they're paying for it, and to double down and to come out and say, well, I'll challenge anyone to an argument, and you answered it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is so. Well, first of all, the winner was already baked in the cake. The cryptocurrencies have gone up thousands of %, where silver stayed exactly the same place. I'm not against silver, but I do understand that it's rigged. But between silver and the cryptos, silver cannot help us monetarily with what's going on. Silver will never become used as money again. Probably gold will not either. because it's just not convenient enough. The only reason that people went to gold and silver as money when the old systems crashed, all the paper things of money that got destroyed, everybody always went back to silver and gold. But the only reason they went back to silver and gold was it was the only alternative. Changed in 2009 with the publication of the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper. So now we have an alternative. I'm not saying gold and silver are bad. Silver is unbelievably suppressed still and will be used and needed in the things we're going to build for our future in the industrial side of things. And if it is ever freely traded, it will go well, I believe, higher than the price of gold. But there is a better form of money out there now, and you can find it in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies, but it's not just a form of money. Also, there's an entire economic system being built using blockchain technology. And Chris in his argument said, I love blockchain technology, but Bitcoin is a failed product, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's kind of hard to love the Bitcoin blockchain and hate Bitcoin because they go hand in hand. Because you have to mine the coins, you need miners, you need incentive for the miners to verify transactions and things like that. So you can't have a Bitcoin blockchain without Bitcoin. And also, there's other types of blockchains, yes, but there must be incentive for people to verify transactions. And just because Chris doesn't like that Bitcoin is taking this market share of a use as money and really kind of pushing out gold and silver doesn't mean it's not better. And I think it is better, and that's why it's pushing it out. I think in a technological society, people are not going to want to walk around with coins in their pockets and
exactly.
store coins in their safe at home. People are going to walk around with iPhones. Just think, if the unbacked fiat system crashes today, which is what Chris advocates for. He wants the banksters and the bad guys and the governments destroyed. What would happen? You've got a handful of people who own physical gold and silver, and the rest of the world's 7 billion people have nothing. So will the governments come and say, all right, you must distribute all your gold and silver to the population because we need it? Probably, if that was the only option. So, but it's not the only option. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody can participate in the cryptocurrencies today. And there are companies, huge, magnificent companies being built right now, just like they were being built when the World Wide Web was invented in the 1990s. Nobody thought the World Wide Web would do anything. They thought it would be a joke. Who would ever send a letter over the mail? It's crazy talk. And now look at us. It's taken over every business, and we've got the Googles and the Facebooks and the Amazons that have popped up and destroyed other industries. What happened to the big book warehousers and retail is getting destroyed by online advertising. So this is exactly the same type of change, except bigger. The growth in the cryptocurrencies, the growth in tokenization and honest blockchain and honest dealings is changing the world now. And those who say are critical of it, it doesn't matter if they're critical or not. We're moving forward. The world is moving forward without them. And yeah, they'll all be buying Bitcoin in 5 or 6 years from now. But wouldn't you rather be in the early days of Amazon, Google, and Facebook when they were first thought of as an idea? Then later down the road, of course.
I personally like to jump in and buy things when they're high and then sell them when they're low.
Yeah, so I usually don't attack my silver buddies out there, and there's a lot of them that refuse to even put their heads around and study the cryptos and what it means and what honest dealings actually mean. They know it philosophically. I mean, that's why they're into gold and silver. They just don't spend the time to understand that the cryptos are everything that gold and silver is, except better.
People need to realize, Bix, that their philosophy will kill them. Okay? People need to be pragmatic, be flexible, understand something. Most of these guys who are resistant to cryptos they just don't understand the technology.
Well, they haven't spent the time. They're not dumb people. Right. What amazes me is they came to the realization that our current system is fraudulent, it's bad, it's got to go. and they made that decision. They bought into the gold and silver concept, and then they just stopped learning. And then it's just like, well, you apply that to the cryptocurrencies, and you've got many of the same things, if not all the same things, and better things. I mean, there is no, scarcity is great in gold and silver, but there is no cap on the amount of gold and silver that could ever be mined or ever be found. You know, they're talking about mining asteroids now. With Bitcoin, it's 21 million coins will ever be mined. And no, not every cryptocurrency dilutes the value of the overall currency. That was one of Chris's arguments. They can invent as many other cryptocurrencies as they want. Well, we can invent use as many other pieces of metal. We could use copper. We could use tin. And they do as money. The concept that every single cryptocurrency takes away from the value of Bitcoin is ridiculous, because a lot of these cryptocurrencies are just ridiculous to start with and won't be around. It's the pets.com of the world. Not every cryptocurrency is going to survive. Every day cryptocurrencies are born and die. The strong ones with good ideas that are working in good business applications are going to survive and thrive, just like in the .com days with, you know, Amazon and Facebook and Oracle and all the computer hardware companies. There are industries being built around the blockchain as we speak. And because people who are so stuck in the mindset of it's gold and silver as money or nothing else, and then refuse to talk about or think about or study really what a cryptocurrency is and how it's a trustless system. You don't have to trust anybody or anything in the crypto system other than the blockchain. Whereas in our current system, you got to trust everybody and everything, especially if other people hold your metals and the mining shares and all that. Yes, if you hold physical in your own possession, that's great, but you're in the minority. And there's no way we'll ever go back to a gold and silver standard. If we ever did, it would be one where the government says, we hold X amount of gold and here's some dollars to use and it's non-redeemable. Because nobody has enough gold and silver to distribute to the population when the old system dies. Whereas with the cryptocurrencies that are divisible in infinite amounts, I mean, truthfully, it might take a little tweaking to get past, I think it's a millionth of a Bitcoin. They need to tweak some protocols, but that's easy to do. And I think it's sad to see my good friends in the gold and silver world who have fought so hard and so long to not get on board the cryptos. And even today, you're not too late. The majority of people have no idea what I'm talking about right now. And this is not going away. It is going to be the thing to be in, not even as an investment. If you're going to own a business, people are going to require that you use blockchain technology so they can follow up and make sure you're doing what you said you're going to do. Because that's what the big thing, when this system crashes, the big thing that will be lost is trust. Trust is required in any civilized society. And without it, we're screwed because they take advantage of us. That's our current system. It's required trust that your bank's going to be around and your brokerage house is going to be around and your government isn't going to print too much money. With Bitcoin, it's a trustless system, and the cryptocurrencies and the crypto tokens. A lot of these aren't even currencies. They're never meant to be currencies. They're tokens for other uses in other businesses.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Like my Gorilla token that I'm developing for the international trade of bananas worldwide and dark roast coffees. They're all going to be purchased on the Gorilla ICO coin that's going to be coming out.
Well, you will be going head to head against Veritasium, which has first mover on you. And that token, that platform, Veritasium
is not looking at the banana industry.
They are looking at all industries, all means of peer-to-peer exchange.
Damn it.
So yes, Veritasium can save the silver guys in a blink of an eye because they set up a trustless system. You don't have to trust anybody, and all the costs of the broker and the dealer and the DTCC are sucked out of the system, and it's just so much more efficient. And the banksters have no way to rig it because it's based off the Ethereum platform, blockchain technology. It's all there for everybody to see. Reggie Middleton, the guy who invented Veritasium, is going to be probably the most brilliant man in finance going forward because every single stock market,
we're gonna have to give Reggie a call.
Bond market, FX trading market, the commodity markets are going to be using Veritasium. They'll be shifting over to Veritasium because it's cheaper, it's honest, it's fair, and it's verifiable.
Yeah.
The first place to do it right now is Jamaican Stock Exchange has hired, which is one of the most corrupt stock exchanges. But it's a $6 billion.
Our stock exchange is corrupt, man. It's a jerk chicken exchange, boy.
So, but it's a $6 billion exchange, and they hired Reggie to go take Veritasium in there and set up an exchange using Veritasium based off blockchain technology side by side with the current exchange, and then see which one will be used by all the participants. So, if you were investing in the Jamaican Stock Exchange, buying stocks there,
I'm a huge investor in the Jamaican Stock Exchange.
Yeah, would you rather buy it through your broker and through the DTCC and all the regulators,
I would go through Veritasium.
Peer-to-peer Veritasium contract? It's all there. It's verifiable. I mean, it's really, once this gets implemented in August, and that's how fast this is happening, all of a sudden the Jamaican Stock Exchange will turn into the Jamaican Veritasium Exchange. It will be decentralized. All those brokers out there on the floor will have no job, no need. It's peer-to-peer transactions.
It's incredible.
And once that is proved, it'll be the New York Stock Exchange, the COMEX, the LBMA, Shanghai, everywhere around the world will be screaming to bring that type of technology because investors want trust. And they're tired of getting screwed and ripped off and paying high fees and all that stuff. And they're gonna run to the Jamaican Stock Exchange, and then another exchange will set it up, and the amount of money flowing around is gonna be unfathomable, trillions of dollars with a T. Sorry, I get excited about this because it is an example of what these silver bugs who say, "Oh, the cryptocurrencies will die." It is an example of something that it has real world applications, and it's real world applications to save silver. That's the big thing. It can save silver by introducing trust into the COMEX. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That's my rant.
Well, I'm back to the drawing board now that you told me that Veritasium is going to most likely corner the banana and dark roast coffee market. CJ, it's back to the drawing board for us. CJ, you hear that?
Yeah. I think we're going to be venturing into the can of coin again.
But there's nothing. I mean, if you come up with a better product, there's nothing that stops you from taking Veritasium out.
Well, instead of that, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to create a tokenization program for those that exclusively want to watch the Telemundo broadcasting network.
There's already companies that are addressing that same type of stuff.
Damn it, CJ, you hear that? They're taking Telemundo from us.
We're talking
Telemundo.
We're talking about radical displacing changes in banking and investment and insurance and advertising and social media
and Mexican soap operas,
real estate, logistics, you name it. The blockchain is infiltrating every single one of those systems, and every single one of those systems has a level of corruption that will instantly disappear once these blockchain technologies are introduced.
Which brings us to the next thing, sir. Since you talked about Veritasium and the crypto economy, Litecoin and the BTC fork. SegWit is around the corner. What say you?
I say it. Unfortunately, how this all came about is the Bitcoin was getting too popular, so it was taking too long, and it was too costly to buy smaller things like a cup of coffee, right? So this has been going on for a couple of years. So the core developers are this group of computer guys, basically really smart, the smartest computer guys in the world, who had been working on a fix for years and years and years. But their fix basically focused on security. Their whole focus was, let's make Bitcoin so secure that people have to take us seriously. So this SegWit thing, it was written by these core developers. It took a long time to test and develop and test and test and test, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. but it doesn't help the speed aspect. It barely helps the speed aspect. And that speed aspect, as more and more people start adopting Bitcoin, will become a problem almost instantly again. But they were dead set on making Bitcoin the gold standard of the cryptos, which it pretty much will be. But the problem, the thing they weren't understanding, is that it takes it out of the hands of the everyday transaction. It will be too costly and too slow. They should have been working on something that completely opened up the cap on the block size. And that's what Roger Ver and some of these miners wanted. So it got into a big war, and now both sides are basically at each other's throats, and the core developers have kind of pushed the envelope saying, we're going to shoot for August 1st. And if not, we're going to split apart into a different coin, which isn't bad. I mean, if you own Bitcoin, all of a sudden you'll have two coins. Kind of like the same thing happened to Ethereum with Ethereum Classic. But there are risks when it happens. So I advise everybody to get your Bitcoin out of any online wallet, online exchange, because none of them know how that's going to go. Coinbase just said today that they advise everybody to to take their Bitcoins out of Coinbase, because they even said they're not supporting that their programs. They'd have to write all new programs to support the SegWit fork and all this stuff. So it's coming down to August 1st. But in the meantime, right next door is something called Litecoin. Litecoin is very much like Bitcoin, except it's 4 times as fast, and there's 4 times as many coins, and it costs a fraction of what Bitcoin costs. So Litecoin can easily take over the market share of the the day-to-day transactions for 7 billion people. So I'm a big fan of Litecoin. But Bitcoin, truthfully, I have, I think, 1 or 2 Bitcoin right now held off exchange, because I don't even want to deal with it. But it might be very profitable for those people who stay in there, and they get twice as many coins. As long as, but then it gets back to, okay, how do you get them back online? Do the wallets support it? Does it work? There'll be testing. There'll be problems. There'll be issues. And I'm like, well, why even do it when you've got Litecoin sitting there at currently at I think 1/70th or 60th or 70th of the price of Bitcoin? My God, that's just like gold and silver. And the Litecoin kind of emblem is a silver L, and the Bitcoin is a gold B. It's very similar to what's going on with gold and silver. How's that?
V, are you eating lunch?
No. I was on mute while I was talking. That's hilarious. Now, what I was saying is that Litecoin, when it came out, it was actually referred to as the silver to Bitcoin's gold.
Oh, absolutely. And if you look at Litecoin, Charlie Lee was the developer of Litecoin. He went to Coinbase. Well, obviously, that's why Coinbase isn't supporting the Bitcoin thing, because Coinbase wants Litecoin to do well and be used on day-to-day transactions. But Charlie Lee left Coinbase to solely focus on Litecoin a few months back, because he sees what's about to happen. And there's some secret announcement coming out of MIT on the same day as the fork. And supposedly it has to do with making Litecoin a whole lot faster and a whole lot cheaper. So that will be really, really interesting. And Litecoin's gone up significantly, but in relation to Bitcoin and in relation to the amount of use that Litecoin will get, if it does turn out that Litecoin, you can buy a cup of coffee with Litecoin and actually transact business fairly easily. I think it's a big boom for Litecoin. I think we're going to see some major action in Litecoin over the next, I'd say, starting now until the end of the year. At a minimum, Litecoin should be traded at 4-to-1 to Bitcoin, which would put it at like $600, and right now it's at like $40.
Wow,
that's the Bix Weir take.
A lot of people are showing a lot of favoritism, a lot of positive outlook for the longevity of Litecoin, man.
Well, that's all because it's all because of the Bitcoin battle. And this Bitcoin battle won't end. I mean, SegWit doesn't solve anything.
No.
It solves some security issues and adds a couple of great features, but the speed will not increase for Bitcoin much at all. And the cost won't increase much at all after a few months, really. So all those guys who are fighting for SegWit are going to get what they ask for, and they'll get a very secure cryptocurrency with very little use in practical day-to-day transactions.
Yeah, agreed.
And and I've had discussions with many of them. They'll say the same thing. Yeah, this doesn't solve the speed issue. It doesn't solve the cost issue, but right. It secures what they have. That's the whole idea. Because these guys, these computer programmers at the core team, are brilliant when it comes to computer programming, and we all know those type of people. When it comes to seeing the bigger picture of what's good for humanity, they have no clue and don't care.
Nope. They are the engineers. That's why they're the engineers, man. They have no, they're not, I mean, they don't have the bigger idea what's best for humanity and which is ultimately what's best for them.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, they're blocking out 7 billion people from utilizing Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis, whereas Litecoin saying, raising its hand, saying, hey, use me. Use me. I am ready, willing, and able to take care of humanity. And then humanity, the universe rewards those who takes care of humanity. So you're going to see Bitcoin, although I still think it's going to go up in price massively, it's not even going to go up close to how high and how fast Litecoin is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's,
all right, buddy.
That's the universe basically giving a tip of the hat to those who think bigger picture, think about the good of humanity.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking a lot about bananas and how bananas are the perfect fruit that helps people by giving them simple sugars, calcium, potassium, sodium.
Yeah, that's it.
You got the electrolytes in there that help prevent against muscle cramping. It can fuel your workouts. I mean, come on.
Well, you used to be a health guy, right?
Well, I still am here and there, thither and yon. I'm not like my old self, Bix. I can't throw around 150-pound dumbbells anymore. I could only do 120. I'm be stuck at that level.
I've been going on like hour-long walks every day.
I do power naps all day.
I'm getting so old. I have to go on walks. I used to jog and run everywhere, and
yeah.
But now when I jog and run, it's like my knees take 2 or 3 days to recover.
Yeah, I don't even mess with jogging and running. If I go out, I'm on my hoverboard.
There you go.
I'm on my hoverboard. I go check the mail. It's like I'm on my hoverboard.
Hey, we might laugh now, but in Cliff High's data for after 2020, he's got the introduction of flying cars just like the Jetsons.
Oh, good.
Which is like,
great.
Let me
know when that happens. I'll stay off the road for sure.
Yeah, well, it's anti-gravity stuff, which supposedly is going to use.
People could barely drive. They're going to fly now.
Oh, look at the sky. Who are you going to run into? Look up.
Exactly the point.
Obviously, it'll take a little time, and they'll be. I mean, with computers and right now, cars can drive themselves.
I know it's a nightmare. I tell you, it's a nightmare.
You'll have.
You might be happy to a performance enthusiast like myself with gasoline in his veins.
The world is changing all around you, V.
I can't, man. I just want to be on an island with all my analog sports cars that I have. That's all I want to do. That's it.
I know, and that's great for enjoyment.
Yeah.
So it's like the silver guys; they just want their silver, and that's great for them. And I'm if they're happy, if it makes you happy, that's great. I'm all about happiness. That's why I was so mad.
That's why you're so chipper today, man.
That's why I was so mad at Chris Dwayne. It was such a bummer of a challenge he put out there for the crypto community. I had to respond.
Isn't it ridiculous? I mean, seriously.
Why be so angry? And interestingly, I went to the guys I did my coin with. Bix Engraving had dealt with Chris, and they stopped dealing with him. He's just a bear.
Ah, jeez.
But hey, to each his own. Everybody deals with things the way they want to deal with it. I feel bad for people who followed his advice and didn't get into the cryptocurrencies when Bitcoin was like, I think he said he first heard about it when it was $10 and told people no. I mean, yeah, there is no debate, obviously, because just look what has happened.
Right.
I have increased my silver stack 5x, 5 time since getting into cryptocurrencies.
Well, you know, let's not give out practical applications like that, Bix. God forbid. God forbid.
But
let's just hold on to a paradigm and find other like-minded tool bags that hold paradigms and unwaveringly flinching onto a paradigm. Let's all join hands and join our own little cult.
I'll give you.
Let's escape one paradigm and embrace another one to our death.
I'll give you 2 reasons why silver stackers should absolutely put their arms around the cryptos and hug them. Number one, these crypto people know about currencies, know about the unbacked fiat monetary system, and will spend their money on silver, on physical silver in their own possession. That's a really good thing for any silver lover.
Right.
And number 2, new technology introduced via the blockchain by things like Veritasium can come into the criminal exchanges like the COMEX and LBMA and overnight turn them into truth machines, which should end the criminality instantly. Those are your 2 reasons.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Those are 2 excellent, excellent reasons, man. That being said, dude, the secret ICO, Salt Lending, what's the deal?
Well, it's not secret. I actually saw an ad that they put out. They're very, very under the radar. Extremely under the radar, and that's the way they want it to be for now. They're still waiting on regulatory approvals. But what it is a way to use your cryptocurrencies as collateral for loans, for bank loans. So because the banking industry sees what's happening. So they know they're screwed unless they get involved in some way into the cryptocurrencies. The cryptocurrencies are going to make many, many billionaires and multimillionaires. Everybody listening to my voice right now that goes out today and buys a handful of cryptocurrencies is going to be a millionaire no matter how much you spend on it practically, because everything is shifting from the old system to the new. So the guys at Salt saw this, and they're working with some banks and the DTCC and the big money to put together an honest, open system that you can use your collateral without any credit checks or anything to get a bank loan and go out and do whatever you want with it. Because of the smart contract, there's no way you can default on the loan. There's triggers if your collateral runs below a certain loan to value ratio. The way they're doing it is they're trying to get everything in place in the U.S. U.S. regulators are freaking insane. There's so many regulators.
Wonderful.
Everything. So they've been working for a long, long time to get these regulations in place. They're almost in place. Right now, they are having a pre-ICO sale. And they haven't really advertised it, but for people listening, and I told them I wouldn't pump it. I'm pumping it a little here, but I'm going to do a big video series on the concept and why it can basically take over the lending business from the bankster model.
Yeah. And
really, be integrated into it. It has the possibility of cleaning up our banks, but it definitely has the possibility of using your collateral in the cryptocurrencies to get access to cash. And a few things about it. One, you're not selling your crypto. You still own your crypto, so you're not taking a capital gain. So you're using it as collateral, and you can't sell it off because it's in the collateral contract. But you get all the gains or losses. Whatever happens to that cryptocurrency, you're going to get the appreciation or depreciation after the loan term is over. And the bank's going to get paid back their fiat money. But it's really, I think, as these 2 systems run in parallel, the old system, the current unbacked fiat system, and the crypto system, I think a lot of people will be transitioning over from the old way to the new way, and all these crypto millionaires and billionaires not wanting to pay taxes are going to take out crypto loans using their crypto as collateral. And there's no credit checks, but there is the FACTA stuff where you got to know your customer type of stuff.
KYCs.
Yeah, so you can't, that's good. You take some of the criminality out. but it doesn't go on your credit report, and you can do what you want with that. It is unknown what the interest rate will be. I think at the beginning it'll probably be high, and then as more and the way the platform platform is written is banks will bid on loans. So the more banks that get in and say, "Oh my God, this is real collateral," because one of the hardest things to do as a banker is to securely collateralize a loan where it's easy to cash in the collateral and close the loan out. I mean, that's usually you have to go, like with a house, you got to go through foreclosures and the courts and all that stuff, and the condition gets destroyed and all that. These are collateralized loans on a very liquid asset in the cryptocurrency space that have automatic triggers within the smart contract to say, if your loan balance goes below this, we automatically take payments out of your collateral. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and right now, I think it's still, this is their third round of funding, and they're giving out 85% discount on the retail price of a SALT token, which is, I think they're pegging $10 each per SALT token. So you're buying them for $1.50 right now, but that's closing fast. So if you're interested, look at SALT Lending. That's the name. There's a lot of different SALT companies. And Cliff High in his report, he hasn't talked about it in any of his reports yet because SALT is such a common word out there. So for him to send his spiders out coming back with SALT, you can get SALT everywhere. But he did do a run, and it said, yeah, this is going to be one of the good ones.
Very, very, very interesting, my man. Very interesting indeed. SALT.
SALT, SALT Lending. And there's a lot of different SALT finance and all that. This is SALT Lending. And you can check it out. And the people involved are very high stakes players. I think JP Morgan's in there. I think Citibank, Blythe Masters companies in there. So yeah, there is a lot of potential that these are the bad guys trying to do something. But because it is going to be on the blockchain, and because everything will be very visible, I think you can trust in that.
That's very good.
And I know that JP Morgan and Citi and Blythe Masters and all those, Larry Summers, all want to get into the crypto space because they see their old world dying and the new world rising up out of the ashes.
Yeah. Blythe Masters. I love that name.
You love that name. You love her. You love Blythe, don't you?
I do. I have a secret crush on Blythe.
I've never met her, and I thought our paths would cross at some point when I was still in banking, but nope, never met her. She's off in the crypto world now.
Yeah, she's wreaking havoc. The queen of derivatives is out there.
Oh yeah, and I don't trust anything that she does. And if it something is offered, like her company is digital assets holding or something like that, trying to be kind of like the DTCC of cryptos. But the key to any crypto, if they know what they're doing, the good ones, is open source code so you can see everything that happens. And there is no hidden agenda. And that would be required, especially of a company that Blythe Masters gets involved with.
Blythe Masters. The evil
the
Blythe
Wicked
Masters.
Witch of Silver.
The Wicked Witch of Silver. The Wicked Witch of Oxford.
Yeah, she's quite a character.
She is a character, man. She is a total character.
Lying, cheating scumbag. And she knows it. She'll say, oh, I had to do it to save the system.
I had to do it. She learned that from her boss, Hank Paulson.
Yeah. Well,
Hank
was at Goldman, and she worked for Jamie Dimon.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Jamie, and
Sandy, Sandy Weil before Jamie?
Exactly.
So. Yep, that's our world, my friend, and
that's our world. Our world, and your synopsis of it, Bix.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the world I have created in my mind, and I like to
makes sense to me.
Put everything in order and in the way I think it's going down. But it's so important that people get involved and start studying these cryptos, because that's the way everything is going. Every industry you're in will end up with a blockchain technology because the trust in the old system is fading, and people are moving to trustless systems. And when you hear that word trustless, it doesn't mean there's no trust there. It means you don't need to trust anything. It's all right there on the blockchain for you to see. It's verifiable fact.
Right.
And so there's no trust needed.
Right. Absolutely right. Absolutely correct. And with that being said, buddy, we are at the end of the broadcast. Why don't you give it your shout outs, your subscriptions,
Sure.
and how people can follow you on your social media?
At roadtoruta.com, our promotion right now, giving away $30 in Veritasium hard copy wallet mailed to your front door. It's been crazy. That's keeping me really busy. Join the private road and you get $30 in hard copy Veritasium. And I was giving it out when Veritasium was under $100 just recently. And within like 2 days, everybody doubled their money. So I'm not saying that's always going to happen, but I do see huge things for Veritasium. Right now, it's trading around $200. I think it's going to trade well in excess of 10,000 by next year.
Yeah.
And that's a big number. I understand that, but hey, this is a whole new world, and Veritasium is one of those technologies that'll displace the old criminal side of it.
Yep, absolutely. And with that being said, folks, you can follow us on roguemoney.net, Rogue Money Twitter, which is at the Rogue Money, Rogue Money Facebook, and every podcasting app created under the sun. We are there. We're also on Apple News, so check us out over there. And a lot of big things are going on. We'll be making announcements very soon. Earth-shaking, paradigm-altering announcements are coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. And with that being said, take it away, CJ.